Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout, or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to your transaction, and it helps support the channel. Thank you. My wife will never allow me to leave because of her past. Recently, I've been more bothered and obsessed than ever by my wife's past. It's strange that this didn't bother me for 5 full years until these last few months. Looking at my wife now and knowing her for the past 5 years, you'd guess her body count was over 100 plus. Maybe it's this stark contrast that's been preventing me from fully processing her past. A few months ago, everything clicked inside of my head, and now, RJ, Retroactive jealousy, has taken over my thoughts. I even started contemplating leaving, though I love her deeply. We have an incredible connection, shared passions, dreams, and values, except when it comes to her past. Every time I've mentioned breaking up, she becomes hysterical, anxious, and starts crying. She says that it will be impossible for her to find someone like me. She's given me total control over her life, stating that the only thing she won't accept is me leaving her. I've reassured that if she doesn't want me to leave, then she has the power to prevent me from doing it. Her well-being is too important for me, so I've given her that veto power. Still, her past is a constant struggle for me. For someone with a strong family and conservative values, her history is very hard to accept. People ask if I'm enjoying the control that I have over her, implying it's a power trip. The truth is, she gave me this control, and I've never asked for it. If she ever wants to leave, she will always be free to do so. When I look at her, I have trouble seeing the woman who slept with so many losers and random dudes she met on dating sites. But it is the same woman. That's what troubles me the most. She is so cute, adorable, beautiful, feminine, anxious, and even conservative in many aspects. She will never allow herself to leave the house without me, not even to pick up the mail unless it is delivered directly to the door. She will only open the door if no man is in front of the house. She closed the Instagram account that I opened for her because too many guys were DMing her. At that time, I didn't even spy on her. She did it on her own and only told me years later why she closed the account. She is also dedicated to me and will do everything for me. She has trouble being alone for extended periods. I always go to bed a few hours after her because I like spending time on the internet, like writing this Reddit post at 2 a.m. She told me that during those hours, she has trouble sleeping because I am not next to her. I really can't leave that woman in that state, and frankly, I don't want to either. But her past is so extreme, I know all about it, including some very gross details. She also isn't willing to repudiate her past or say that she regrets it, because she really doesn't. So I ask you, what would you do in my shoes? You have this perfect wife by your side, who has been with you for the past 5 years. You love her. She is the most beautiful woman you've ever met. No other woman attracts you anymore. She shares all your passions, wants no friends other than you, and you alone. Her dream is to be with you for all of her waking and even sleeping moments. But she has that horrible past of sleeping with a different random dating site dude almost every week for years. What do you do? Only thing that I've ever considered anybody's past when it comes to, like, if they wanted to date them was if they have a history of cheating in the past, just because that's not anything I want to go through again. But other than that, it doesn't really seem like much of that comes into play or is relevant. If that isn't a factor, then I don't really see any reason for you to have this kind of weird, I'm not going to date this person because of X, Y, or Z kind of thing. And also, if there's a reason that she doesn't want to go outside to get the mail unless she's with you, there may be something behind it that is not being said, but is a very serious topic. Maybe in that history that you're saying is a bad thing, there might have been something that went horribly wrong. And this whole retroactive jealousy thing just seems really weird, because God forbid you happen to date somebody who is not a virgin. Holy shit, it's the end of the world. They're not a virgin. Oh no. Not sure why, but there's like this whole thing on the internet about people getting upset because the girl that they're dating or have an interest in is not a virgin. For some reason, they think that's like some kind of spoiled potatoes or something. I don't freaking know. Am I the a-hole for refusing to accommodate? My 29M newborn son will be baptized at the end of the year. The day before my birthday, my mother offered to organize the ceremony for my girlfriend and me. In return, we agreed to celebrate my birthday during the same weekend. We accepted because, for such an event, any help was welcome. As a result, we informed our families that they are invited for the weekend to celebrate both occasions. Here's my problem. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law no longer speak to each other, and my girlfriend had been dreading the day that they would both being invited to the same event. For my mother-in-law, no issue. She simply said that she hoped everything would go without a problem. But my sister-in-law, she started off joking, saying things like, "Oh, I hope you're planning a cold buffet, because the atmosphere is going to be freezing." When my girlfriend didn't laugh, sister-in-law got upset and said that we didn't understand the seriousness of the situation. My girlfriend replied that she wasn't asking her to talk to mother-in-law, just to be there for our son, that it would show maturity. But sister-in-law just responded that it wasn't a question of maturity, but something more like, "I can't stand the sight of her face, and I would be sick by being at the same place as her." So, my girlfriend told her that she wasn't obligated to come if it was this hard for her. Sister-in-law didn't respond. 2 days later, she sent a message saying that she wouldn't be attending. She had been chosen by our son's godmother. My mother and girlfriend then suggested that we split the baptism over 2 days. In our country, there are 2 types of baptisms, religious and civil. We are doing both. My girlfriend wants the religious ceremony, and my mother wants the civil one so that she can personally officiate her first and only grandchild's ceremony. She works at City Hall. The idea was to hold the religious ceremony on a Saturday, and the civil one on a Sunday. I refused. I already felt like it's a lot to ask people to attend 2 ceremonies for the same event and to block out their whole weekend. Most guests have already said that they can only attend 1 day, and we asked them to prioritize Saturday for our son. If we agreed to split it, we'd be forcing people to choose a day, and especially those who come on Saturday wouldn't be able to attend the ceremony led by my mother. And most of all, I don't want to change our plans just to accommodate my sister-in-law, who refuses to make the slightest effort for her godson. My in-laws have their flaws, but they are wonderful grandparents, and I don't want them to be affected by all of this. That said, of course, my girlfriend is really hurt by this whole situation, and still hopes to find a solution. But, for me, her sister made it clear that it's her or them. Edit. There was no redacted. Some of you may seem to not like the way that I speak for my sister-in-law. Like, how can you confirm that there was none of this? Well, because I lived there. They let me move in the first 3 years with my girlfriend because my college was 10 minutes apart from her house, and I swear that even if everyone can have their own definition of what this is, sister-in-law was by far the one that experienced the least. And it's been now 10 years with my girlfriend. I met every person in the family, and everyone confirmed what I witnessed during these years. Sister-in-law planned moving with his boyfriend weeks before the argument that led to the situation, and they argued just the day before she left. They have exactly the same personality. Dogs don't make cat. And they are really stubborn women. However, my sister-in-law's boyfriend couldn't stand the in-laws and was perfectly fine with her not talking to them anymore. The argument was clearly something that you can go through, even if it's a sister-in-law's choice not to do it. She expressed more and more hate towards them as the years went. My girlfriend and brother-in-law and I really suspect her boyfriend to do everything he can to avoid regret it coming from her. And for those saying I prefer my mother-in-law, no. Like I said, have exactly the same personality. But my mother-in-law is a great grandma, and what I was trying to say is that with everything that she had done to our son, neither my girlfriend and I could imagine putting her away from the event. She deserves to be there. My sister-in-law too, of course, but they are perfectly aware that no one deserves it more to be there than the other. You know, if you're going to be making stories like this and, explaining things, it helps to actually give the context as to why the two people are not talking to each other, because there's not really a reasonable thing for somebody to have a baby and then just all of a sudden not want to talk to anybody without any type of reasoning behind it. And I even tried to figure out why exactly they were arguing or whatever the disagreement was between them by looking through the comments on both the Am I the Devil post and the r/Am I the A-hole post, and nothing was ever explained. There's not really any explanation as to why they were arguing or whatever the disagreement was, but if it's serious enough where somebody goes no contact with their parents, then that might be some good context to actually have for situations like this. Something's not being said here, and I feel like it's not being said because whatever it would be something that would label you or somebody that you would prefer not to be labeled as the a-hole as the a-hole. What should I do with my girlfriend? My background info. Before I graduated school, I had never even kissed a girl, mostly caused by living in a very sheltered life, going to a high school with 150 students, having low self-esteem, and being overweight. In the summer, I proceeded to grad school, and in the first semester, I slimmed down to the point where I'm now a 6'4" guy with a lean, muscular physique. I also started doing country dancing, where I slowly became much more and more confident with girls, flirting with them, going on dates with them, and this kind of escalating. I started developing my game from scratch at 22, being a complete virgin. Throughout grad school, I went on several dates with various women, but was only getting first and second dates and only kissing, nothing more. I was being held back by my self-limiting beliefs. In the last years of my 2 years in grad school, my confidence with women was much higher, and I rejected a lot of women because I was still operating under the impression that I didn't want to just sleep with anyone, but also because I was nervous to have this for the first time. My ego was also very high, and I felt that I deserved a top-notch woman. I had several opportunities for a casuals on the first date essings, but I didn't do it. In March of 2024, I was winding down my time in graduate school, and I had just recently decided to actually push for the first/second date messing arounds. I had one experience where I got to second base with a woman, but she would not let me get further. I never saw her again because she left the country. After going out on a few more high-quality women, and discarding them after they would not let me hit after a few dates, I found my current girlfriend. From the first date with my current girlfriend, I knew that she had some red flags, mostly from her describing her past impulsive behavior. Nonetheless, she was a very fun person to talk to, and still is today. I had this with her on our second date, losing my virginity to her. After going on a couple of more dates and doing more of that stuff with her, I asked her how many people that she had messed around with, and she told me 14 or 15. I lied, and I told her I had it with 7 people. As soon as she told me this, I initially felt somewhat disgusted, but I was not envisioning a long-term relationship with her at the time, so I kept going out with her. Her lewd past. She lost her virginity via this at the end of high school, and in the first semester of college, she went on basically a redacted rampage, being drunk all the time, flunking classes, and only caring about being social and doing this. She described herself as being depressed and idealizing committing during this time period. She has told me a few different reasons as to why she was so promiscuous with her past. 1. She claimed she did it because she wanted to reclaim control of her body by choosing who to have S with. 2. She also claimed that she didn't feel like saving herself for someone special anymore since her first time was via this horrendous act. 3. She also told me that she thought it was normal to have this very quickly at the start of a relationship, and that she didn't realize that it was not normal if you were looking for a relationship. 4. She said that she was self-destructive and didn't really care about life or having a future. All she cared about was having fun and having this. As you can see, there's quite a range of reasons here. At the end of the second semester, and after the lewd rampage, she got a boyfriend who she waited for several months to have S with, because she wanted to make sure that she actually liked him. Soon after starting a relationship with him, she attempted this by doing all of that. Yeah, no, look, I'm going to censor that out because nobody needs to hear anything regarding that event, and was then hospitalized. She has been formally diagnosed with depression and PTSD because of that bad event. They stayed together for a year before breaking up. Throughout the remaining 2 years of her time in college, she only slept with 2 to 3 guys, before running into me at the very end of her time in school. She has told me that she deeply regrets her behavior and wished that she didn't do it. But at the same time, she says that her past does not matter, and that she can't go back and undo it, and that I should only care about the present and the future. To be fair, she was very forthcoming with this information, and told me that she would understand if it was a deal breaker to me, to which I told her it wasn't. Recently though, she has told me that she does not want to talk about her past very much anymore because it makes her feel bad. The present. After leaving grad school, I went back to my small hometown, where girls are scarce, so I decided to continue talking to her and visiting her. Our relationship has been relatively smooth sailing, but she has some lingering emotional instability, which is mitigated with the uses of SSRIs, otherwise known as antidepressants. She seems to be very loyal to me, affectionate, and kind, except for the occasional minor dispute/hurt feelings. She has also been pretty concerned that I don't like her as much as she likes me, which is probably true in reality. She is now ambitious and mostly depression-free, and has plans of going to medical school. She was even able to pull herself out of her failed first semester and finished schools with a 3.5 GPA. Recently, I've taken a remote lingering job and have moved away from her to explore another city for a couple of months. So we are doing long distance. This distance from her, despite still talking to her multiple times a day, has given me some time to reflect on her. Her past behaviors is starting to bother me more, to the point where I'm considering dumping her over it. Even though, in the beginning, I told her that it was okay with it given the situation that she went through. Despite this slightly disgusted and disappointing feeling that I have, I feel our long-distance relationship is still relatively strong. I feel like we are still growing closer. We will be going on a 2-week vacation with each other soon. In this new city, I am no longer in a scarcity mindset, and have multiple girls approaching me at these country dancing bars that I go to with my friends. This is causing me to have the idea of pursuing other girls be even more present in my mind. My question, being more experienced than me, what would you suggest I do in this situation that I'm in? I'm considering dumping her, cheating on her until I find a replacement woman, or trying to get into a polyamorous relationship. I brought up the polyamory to her, but she is not willing to be in a relationship like that. I've even considered cheating on her until my body count is as high as hers. It definitely isn't the best feeling as a man being a woman's first who has had S with 15 times more people than you. Do you think that she is just your typical redacted with a typical redacted past? Or do you think I should give her a second chance, given her attempt at reforming herself? She told me that she probably would have slept with me on the first date because S is fun. So, she seems like she maybe hasn't changed that much. I have read Chase's articles on H's, and it's starting to have me more concerned. She clearly hasn't gone to the opposite end of this spectrum, because she still has S with a few guys after breaking up with her boyfriend, and has S with me on the second date. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!